6:30. Call the regular meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on the agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the August 21st, 2025 minutes?
I'll move it.
Seconded. Discussion? None? All in favor? Aye. Aye. All yes, motion carried. Next item on the regular meeting, and I will just add people, or sorry, the item we gotta add to the motion J, we're gonna add a motion to refer to both Onondaga County Planning and Town of Lysander Planning, amending local law number 4 of 2012 under chapter 138, then now chapter A 337, street specifications to allow concrete gutters on town roads. That's a hot button topic there that we're gonna add. We'll explain that a little more when we get to it. But are there any citizens in the auditorium wishing to speak?
I want to quickly bring two things to the town board's attention. The first is to consider fillable PDFs for town forms. So there are town forms that would benefit from being redesigned as a fillable PDF. Residents can then download the form, fill it on their computer, and either send them as email attachments or print them out as well without having to print them with their handwriting, okay, which, as we know, can vary from person to person. And these forms, particularly the forms that are used by the Code Enforcement Office, come to mind. There are issues of complaint forms, the controlled site review forms, some of the building permit forms. So I noticed some of the other towns have already changed them to fillable PDFs, which could probably make it a lot easier to read and to archive and document in the town records as well. The capability exists in MS Word to create fillable PDFs. The capability also exists in Google, so would not require an Adobe license from the town. So as you're thinking about forms and updating them, it's pretty easy to make them fillable PDFs as well.
Great.
The second one is probably maybe a little more serious. So by April 24th, 2026, under Title II Federal Law of the American Disabilities Act, municipalities with populations in excess of 50,000 are expected to meet certain guidelines for web accessibility and the accessibility of any mobile apps that they might use, like for payment, etc. There are some exceptions, including the archive of pre-existing content. I don't know if the town has had any type of communication from New York State about this. You know, New York State's mandated that state agencies meet accessibility guidelines for the web, but they've never required it for municipalities. But the newest Title II that's coming out in this 2026 deadline, I know it because it's also all of higher education. So teaching materials that are digital on learning management systems have to meet these accessibility guidelines as well. So I think there's kind of a scramble as the deadline approaches. And the guideline is like WCAG something. I don't know what it is. But there's a guideline about how, again, someone visually impaired can navigate the page. And how the text reader will work, how images are handled, etc. The web page itself, I just ran it through an accessibility checker when I was bringing this to your attention, and it does poorly on the checker, the one that we have recently done. I think that came up when we were discussing it, and at that time, maybe the funding or the budget was.
It's an option, yeah. It was an option to add into the,
Sure.
We can revisit with the website.
I don't think the front face of the page to make it accessible wouldn't be that big of a lift. It's really about tagging different headlines so it knows what order to read things if someone is just listening to the web page and can't see it.
Okay.
I think uploading the documents to the page, I don't know, like in a planning board or whatever, you've got maps. I'm thinking of Melvin Farms and all of the pictures, and those are images, right? So they can't be read. And I don't know, how you potentially visualize those and make those potentially compliant. What are the consequences? This is a good question. The scale is huge. This is a federal mandate. So all municipalities, all over there, every college and university is expected to meet this. I don't think people are going to be able to look at thousands and thousands of entities to decide.
Right.
So I suspect, there'll be more reactive, that complaints will come into the DOJ or something like that. The biggest municipalities will probably be targeted first. Potentially small municipalities will not. I I think so. I think immediate actions are kind of unlikely. I also think under the ADA, I mean, someone could file a lawsuit if your page was not acceptable. They can't really collect money for it. You can only remedy, they can argue remedy the situation or things like that. But I think there's a lot of quiet among municipalities around this requirement coming up, and we need to comply. That's it.
Thank you. And as I said, we'll check with the town clerk, helps maintain the website. We'll check with our vendor on, I know it was one of the options, your husband helped us with the website redesign. I know it was one of the options that we had discussed, so, yeah. Is there anyone else that would like to speak tonight for citizens' comments? Okay, seeing none. Move on to the next item, town board comments. Start with Mr. Moore.
School's in session, drive safe. Other than that, thanks for showing up tonight, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, and again, thanks for showing up, and I think we'll have a good town board meeting tonight. I don't have no further comment.
Ditto, thanks for showing up, thanks for watching.
Okay. Supervisors' comments. Just have a couple. Just a reminder, school tax collection, with the window is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you don't get here at that time, there is a drop box out front. Just so everybody knows, the county prints the tax bills. They had some issues with getting them printed, so they have been delayed. I think some people have already started seeing them appear in their mail. They have been getting them out piecemeal. They had a printer issue. So you should be seeing them at the end of this week and early next week. But they're still due. It's just, that is just a beneficial to the public kind of thing the county does. You're more than welcome, if you haven't received it, you can come down here, you can print it on ongov.net, or you could come here when you pay your taxes and we'll print the bill for you. So, just another reminder that Golden Harvest Fest is this weekend over at Beaver Lake. One of the biggest things they do, Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are park and rides at Tops. There's a park and ride right on East Mud Lake Road. I think Central provides some busing, or someone, school district, whoever moves, helps move people around. It's a great event. Councilor Gerasi, did you start it?
Yes, I did.
So it's awesome. Go out and enjoy Beaver Lake. Hopefully the weather will be better than today. But I think it's going to be cool. So go out and enjoy it. It's a great time for everybody, all ages. And then just a little issue, the spray park was down this week. I know we're looking to get it repaired with the cooler weather. I don't know how many people will be using it, but we had a couple of discharge pump issues, some float issues, so we're getting the required parts and getting them maintained to get it working again. So if you go over and see it's not working, that is the reason. Next item, department head reports. Town attorney, anything?
Nothing from us, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Town engineer.
I'll speak for Kevin on this one, in that Kevin Merrill, that is, we did take delivery of the new playground equipment today at the Lysander Park, and we're looking to get construction started this fall.
Great. For those who don't know, it's a Ninja course. We'll get the plans up online, the layouts of it for people to see which one we have. We're hoping to get that installed either by the end of this winter or the end of the fall, or early in the spring with an opening date of the spring of 26. Okay, was that it? Yeah. Okay. Town clerk?
All set tonight, thank you.
Okay. Next item, regular agenda items. Motion A is going to be modified a little. I have a correction of it here. Motion A, I'd like to get a motion to accept the Melvin Farms and Incentive Zoning Letter of Intent dated August 20th, 2025 to create incentive zoning in the map, or create incentive zoning area in accordance with the map that we have received in the letter of intent. All will be more particularly set forth in a long form resolution subject to town attorney approval. And just to note, this project has received a negative seeker declaration by the town board as lead agency in December of 2024.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Discussion. The reason for the wording is our regular town attorney is not here tonight. He hasn't had the chance to look over the agreement and meet with us. So that is what the change. This is one of the first, we've only done 2 other incentive zoning agreements, so this one's a lot bigger than the other projects.
For sure.
We just want to dot our i's and cross our t's, but it will not prevent the board from voting tonight. So, would any board members like to make comments?
Well, I would. I have to say, this was a robust series of meetings and discussions going on literally for years. I really appreciated the seriousness that everybody that participated in those meetings, town hall meetings, as well as meetings with the developer. I think we covered everything that could be covered. I think the i's were dotted, the t's were crossed. Everybody had concerns about the project in terms of is it too big? Are there too many more cars coming in? I'm really appreciating the sewer improvements that are going to be made on the peninsula, not only for the residents down there, but also the school system. So this was I personally really had an enjoyable time participating in this, and I wanted to extend my thanks to everybody that made my job easier, Mario and Al and others, because there was a lot of questions that needed to be asked and needed to be answered with this project, and I think we did that.
Would anybody else?
Yeah, I would speak. I would echo everything that Councilor Gerasi said. I would also add, over the years, everyone who came up to this microphone and shared their opinions and their thoughts and their insight into the record so that we had some information to make our decision with. This was not an easy decision. It took years. So we'll see how it goes. But we had a lot of discussions in this room over this project. So thank you to everybody who played a part.
Okay. I would just like to make a comment that this has been a project that has gone through different iterations over 20 years and has met a lot of resident feedback, input. Transfer TDR started, then incentive zoning replaced TDR. One of the deciding factors for me was with the sewer study and the dry sewers that we have on the peninsula, in understanding, what's going to happen in this area over the next 20 years with the, micron development being in clay 6 or 7 miles down the road. Getting sewer service to that area has been somewhat of a promise by the town over the last 25 to 30 years with the projects that were put in with the dry sewers installed. This may get that process started after our vote tonight. Senior apartments, patio homes, I think those are all great options for people to have a place to move to, possibly for people that are looking to get out of 2-story houses that are harder and inaccessible as we age. I'm in a 2nd floor condo right now, and I know going up and down the stairs isn't the greatest thing I want to do every day. But, it's giving different types of housing if we approve it to the area. The benefits with the amenities totaling $4.2 million for the sewer system and pipes that are going to be installed for the project that will also benefit other areas that could be sewered, and the in lieu of park fees that could total $181,000 for work to be done on the peninsula or parks, trails, or programs, or anything with the parks that need to be done as our town moves forward. I'd like to thank the developer for their input. They've taken a lot of ideas from the community. They have been very welcome to changes and modifications. You know, we did come down from 588 to 537 for the proposal that's in front of us. And I just want to remind people, you know, this, if approved tonight, this is a step. And then after we vote, I'm going to talk to the town engineer about what the next steps will be. I think in this case, we should probably just do a roll call vote to just memorialize where everybody's at. So if the town clerk would like to call the roll.
This is not how we do it in the fire department.
Okay.
If I'll call a roll vote for all ayes who are in favor of motion A. Pete Moore,
Aye.
Bob Drossy,
Aye.
Kevin Rhodes,
Aye.
Jeff Kudrowskis.
Aye.
All ayes.
Thank you. All ayes, motion carried. Now, I would just like our town attorney, because incentive zoning has a process. So in essence, could you explain to the public where this gets us along the process of incentives?
So incentive zoning is an overlay district in the AR40. What the incentive zoning does is, in exchange for benefits to the community, benefits to the town board has authority to increase the allowed density within a project. In this instance, we're going from 107, would be 172 single-family homes that would be allowed to 537 units of housing that are mixed between senior apartments, market rate apartments, townhomes, and single-family residential building lots. The benefits provided to the town, as Kevin stated, are about $4.2 million in sewer improvements, the $180,000 for parkland, approximately 120 acres of land that'll always be forever wild and green space, sanitary sewer easements. You know, there's a significant benefit to the community to approving this. After this is approved by the town board, what this does is it sets the precedent of how many units can be developed in each classification of housing on the project, as shown on the map referenced in the LOI. From there, the developer needs to go to the planning board for site plan approval and subdivision approval of each section of the development. So this is by no means this is what the whole thing is going to look like in the end. The planning board will have input. Final engineering design will need to be completed. This really is approval of a conceptual plan. There will be changes as this project moves forward and goes through the planning board review. What this does is sets the upper limit of the maximum density for each type of housing that's included in the project that can be constructed.
So, I wanted the public to understand, there will be planning board meetings, there will be discussions on the planning board. Now, is the planning board required to hold a public hearing?
They will be required to hold a public hearing for subdivisions. Site plan approval does not have, the town of Lysander code does not require a public hearing for a site plan approval process. However, it does for the subdivision. So there will be additional public hearings when the developer comes before the planning board for subdivision of sections of the project as they're put online and developed.
Okay. I want people to understand there is a process and it will be followed, and people will still have chances for input as the project moves along.
Correct.
Mr. Supervisor, I have
Sure.
a question.
Yep.
I know that it's going to be designed by a subcontractor of the town, and I'm wondering, when will that process begin? Because I think they're chomping at the bit to start the process.
Yeah, so we will ask the town board to approve our design services proposal for the initial sewer district map plan and report to form the Cold Spring Sewer District Phase 1 project. And from there, once the town board holds the public hearing, forms the district, then we will go into final design report for the infrastructure and sanitary sewer pump station and force main. Once that is approved, the town board would need to move forward with a bonding resolution to pay for the town's portion of that infrastructure. And, from there, we would hand off the contract documents to the developer, because the developer will bid and construct the force main and the pump station, and the town will bid and construct the sanitary sewer mains that are outside of the project scope that will be connected to the pump station.
In terms of time now, can you give me a rough idea?
So we would be looking to complete design and have all design approvals by next fall time.
November, this November?
No, next year, 2026, fall of 2026, to have our approved design ready and in a position to be bid. The goal is to have the pump station, force main, and collector sewers constructed by the start of the 27-28 school year, so Palmer will be on sanitary sewer when the school year starts.
Whoa. And then, we're talking about a year.
No, 2027, 2028. So you're talking a year and, well, 2 years, basically, just under 2 years.
No, I meant the design itself.
Oh, yeah, and it's not so much the design piece of it as it is the approval piece, because you have to get approvals from county and the state, and
Well, then we'd have to have a district approval.
yeah, and quite honestly, the fastest that we've gotten a pump station approved at the county and state level is about 9 months. So we have 3 months of preparatory work to get to a point where we're submitting design drawings and a report for approval. So that review process is a bit lengthy.
I will so inform you.
Okay, it's a process.
It is a
This is a large project that, that a lot of people have had input on, and I'm sure a lot more people have input over the next part of the process, because to me, the next step as a board is we have to decide how we create the sewer district. And, we'll probably have that on the next work session to discuss that, because I have some ideas that might not necessarily correlate with what everybody else has, given the ideas, the estimates of costs for the overall peninsula, and their ideas, and the board will decide what we're putting forward. And then, we know we've had residents talk that we will probably hold a vote. We will probably be required to hold a vote for the district creation. I'm gonna take a guess, unless the residents are ecstatic. I know we have 2 ways to do it, but they also have the opportunity to have a referendum vote if they chose. I mean, you can create the district by town board resolution, and then the residents could pass a petition. So there are things that could change this process timeline. And I want everybody to understand where we're at with this. So, I'm looking at all, there are a lot of variables with a project this large. So, thank you. And if there's nothing further, I'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Motion B. Can I get a motion to adopt a local law regarding the 2025 Lysander changes?
I'll move that.
I'll say.
Well, excuse me, just,
Sure.
I wanted to thank the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I apologize.
I'm ready to go home and have a glass of wine.
If we have to be here, so
I was gonna drag you through this. No, that's okay. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
We will be in
From
touch.
my heart. It's been a long process, but I'm happy that it wound up the way it did. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm sorry.
Have 2 glasses.
We had Counselor Moore made the motion, Counselor Drossy seconded it. Discussion? None, all in favor?
Aye.
All yes. Motion C. I'd like to get a motion to increase the pay of the deputy tax receiver to $20.24 per hour per the union contract.
I'll move that.
Discussion. The only reason this is here is that position was not named in the contract that was approved. We are having continuing discussions to not hold the contract up about that position, but the rate is there. We have started receiving taxes, so that's why we just had to make the motion for the people to hold that title. All in favor?
Aye.
All yes. Motion D. I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on September 18th at 6:30 PM at the town of Lysander to consider a local law under chapter 102-7 of the town code, tier 2 battery energy storage in the town of Lysander. This moratorium will be extended to November 21st, 2025.
I'll move it. I'll second that. You got it, Jeff? Yeah, sorry.
Discussion. Our moratorium will be ending on, I believe, September 19th, so we will extend it one more time, definitely on the battery energy storage. New regulations and rules have come through on the state that we will be interested to see and confer with the town attorney and the town board on where we are at with that. And that falls into the same thing on the solar farms. I'll just cover that now too. I think our solar farm code's pretty close, but we had some changes in fees that we'll have to put back through the process again. So, all in favor?
Aye.
All yes, motion carried. Aye from me also. Motion E, I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on September 18th, 2025 at 6:30 PM at the town of Lysander to consider a local law under Article 29 to extend the moratorium on solar farms in the town of Lysander. This moratorium will be extended to November 21st, 2025.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All yes, motion carried. Motion F. I'd like to get a motion to designate the Post Standard as the official newspaper of the town of Lysander. Effective immediately, the Ballsville Messenger will no longer be considered an official newspaper of the town and will no longer be used to publish legal notices and ads.
I'll move that. I'll second it.
Discussion. The reason for this is the Messenger has changed their timelines, and with our meetings on Thursday and due dates, we would be unable to hold a public hearing if we made the motion tonight to have it at the next meeting. The timelines are very unmanageable for our operations given on when we meet. So the issue will be to not, if it was named as an official newspaper, we are required to print it there, which would possibly put a meeting, 2 to 3 weeks at a time. All in favor?
Aye.
All yes, motion carried. Motion G, I'd like to get a motion to set the Whitetail Woods Section C2 punchless security guarantee in the amount of $89,600 as recommended in the town engineer's letter dated August 21st, 2025.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Discussion. Town engineer, this is just new section of Whitetail Woods. It's normal boilerplate information on motion G and H.
Yep, last section of Whitetail Woods coming online.
Right. It's been approved.
Yes.
Yes. Anyone else have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh yes, motion carried. Motion H. I'd like to get a motion to set the Whitetail Woods Section C2 maintenance guarantee in the amount of $71,050, representing 25% of the value of the improvements included in the town engineer's letter dated August 21st, 2025.
I'll move that. I'll second it.
Discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh yes, motion carried. Motion I. I'd like to get a motion to hire Kevin Stoudemire as a summer aide effective Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 at an hourly rate of $16.50.
I'll move that. I'll second it.
Discussion is we lost some of our summer help. We're finishing up the season another month or so before we close the park down. We just needed to hire people to fill some holes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh yes, motion carried. And we have one more motion. Motion J. I'd like to get a motion to refer the amending local law number 4 of 2012 under Chapter A337, Street Specifications, to allow the option of concrete gutters on town roads to the Onondaga County Planning Board and Lysander Planning Board.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Discussion. I'd ask Mr. Yeager, but he probably wouldn't make much of the discussion. Currently in our local law and ordinances, we require asphalt and asphalt only for the little gutters on the sides of the road. Easiest way to explain it, to understand. We have concrete gutters in the town of Lysander. We have a lot of them, especially in Radisson and most of the developments in the last 30 years. We changed the code, well, obviously 13 years ago, and we've had developers ask for the concrete gutters again. So to do this, we have to amend our codes, so. All in favor?
Aye.
All yes? Aye, motion carried. Next meeting will be September 18th, work session at 5:30. We did have a brief executive session for regarding employment history of a particular person and pending or current litigation. It ended at 5:45, just for the public to understand. Can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7 p.m.?
I'll move it.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, yes, motion carried. Have a good evening, folks.